Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing the new L'Oreal Blended Artist Infallible Pro Blender, I'm assuming it is. I picked this up at my local Target for $6.99. They had 3 different shapes to the beauty sponges. This is just the one that I thought would be more universal. It does say it's a foundation blender, but they also had one that looked for contouring. It had a flat top, and one other one that I think it was for highlighting or something like that. I will list the pictures down somewhere on my screen so that you guys get a chance to see what they look like. I believe they all retailed for $6.99, but I just picked the one that I would most likely use the most. This look reminds me of the Morphe beauty sponge that Jaclyn Hill always uses. However, it is not red, it is like a purple, but it has the same type of shape to it. This feels really nice. It reminds me of the Real Techniques beauty sponge. It's kind of firm at first, but it is clearly flexible, things like that. It says certain things about this product is it says it delivers ergonomic control, provides an even and easy application, and it can be used all over the face. In directions it says apply a small amount of the foundation onto the blender, bounce all over the face until desired coverage is achieved, and then you wash it. So it doesn't say about watering it, putting water on it and making it damp. It doesn't mention anything like that. So what I think I'm going to do is do half of my face using the blender without it being wet, and then I'm going to go wet it and dampen it and see how and if it applies differently, because the directions do not say you need to dampen this beauty blender. So today I'm going to be using the L'Oreal Paris 24-Hour Infallible Total Coverage Foundation in the shade 302 Creamy Natural. I've been obsessed with this foundation. It comes out like in a moussey texture, as you can see, and it is totally full coverage. You don't need that much. I did already apply my moisturizer and my primer. I used my Nivea Men Post Shave Balm in Sensitive. Best primer ever. So I'm just going to take a little bit of the foundation on the back and just dab it over half my face. I feel like it's pushing into the skin a little bit better than if you would dampen it. It's still giving me that full coverage that it normally would, but I feel like it would be easily, or it could easily be caked on. Definitely feels a lot harder on your face than if you dampen the product. So far this is looking pretty good. I don't see much of a difference, except for you can kind of feel that it's not really picking up excess product, which could easily cause more of a cake face. So yeah, what I'm going to go do now is I'm going to dampen this little bad boy, and I will be right back. I am back. As you can see, it definitely grew once I added water. Now it definitely feels more like the beauty blender, the consistency of the sponge, I guess you would say. Really like the flatness but kind of roundness of the bottom part to blend out your foundation. So far I'm going to do the other half of my face with it damp. It gives it a different effect. It's definitely more comfortable to apply on your face when it is damp, because it gives that I guess bouncing effect. It is a lot nicer to apply and gentler. So, something that I'm noticing is it's giving me a softer finish on this side compared to this side. It's not much of a difference, but I do notice that I do like the finish a little bit more when it is damp. So far I'm really liking this. I love the flatness of this. For the foundation, it applies very easily, very quickly, so I'm really enjoying the flatness of it, but I'm really curious to see how it's going to apply the concealer with this pointed tip. I'm not sure how close I'll be able to get in there, but we will give it a go. I'm going to be using a combination of the Master Concealers from Maybelline. This is in the shade Fair and this is in the shade Light. I'm pretty fair right now, so I'm going to use a majority of the fair color, and I'll mix in like a little smidgen of the light shade. I'm going to use this and blend it on the back of my hand and make a little concealer cocktail, as you would say. I'm gonna try to use this side to apply the concealer. Applying it so well. The only downfall is it's not as good as the actual Beauty Blender because it is more of a rounded tip, but it does get really in there if you tend to squeeze it when you get closer to the eye. So that's the only, I guess, downfall of this, but it's not that big of a deal, to me at least. Now they did have one that I showed you guys a little bit earlier that has the flatter top that I feel like would really get in the grooves of your eyes. That one looks like it would work very well. I'm going to finish the rest of my makeup and I will come back and tell you guys about my thoughts about this product, if it's a hit or a miss. So I'll see you guys in a little bit. Hey guys, so I am back, and as you can tell, I've finished my makeup. So I just wanted to give you guys my final thoughts of this beauty sponge, I guess you would say. It's not technically a beauty blender, so it's a beauty sponge. So like I said a little bit earlier, this is from L'Oreal. It is the L'Oreal Infallible Blend Artist Beauty Sponge. I got mine at Target for $6.99, and they also had two other shapes of their beauty sponges. I found that when you applied this damp, it was definitely a lot easier to apply than when you applied your foundation dry. So I definitely recommend doing that. But overall, this is kind of just like your everyday beauty sponge. It's a really good quality beauty sponge though. I put it in the rankings of the Real Techniques beauty sponge and the actual Beauty Blender. It has that soft consistency. However, like when you like really push on it, it kind of has like a gel-like consistency. But I really like this to apply my foundation with the flat side. It's not my favorite for applying concealer, but it does do the trick if you squish it down a little bit, if that makes sense. But I also really did like this to blend out my highlighter to make it look more seamless. So overall, this to me is a hit. It is also it reminds me a lot of the Real Techniques, like I said earlier. The price is there, the quality is there, the shape is there. I definitely like this product. I'll probably be repurchasing, definitely be retrying this and continuing to use this because I love it. It's also a very pretty color, so they hit it on the mark with that. And yeah, so I think that's everything. If you guys have any questions about this product, please comment down below, and always thank you guys so much for your support, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.